That was a joke I told the kids the other day. What was wait, what was the joke? I don't remember, but duty was the punchline.
As in like poo-poo?
Yeah.
I'm sure they got a kick out of that.
Yeah. That's great.
I can imagine it now. Oh, yeah.
All right, so you know how jokes work? All right, imagine a setup. Okay, and now think of like a punchline.
Okay.
But like just the funniest word in the punchline. Duty. There we go.
This is the first time using my brain today.
What, did you work today?
I worked out.
That's something.
That's not using my brain.
But I mean, like today was your like day off. Wait, did you work yesterday?
No, but
Okay.
I did sleep from 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. That's not healthy. I don't think.
It's you build up a deficit of your sleep.
Exactly.
Right? So you're just trying to fill in your quota.
Yeah, or I'm
your hours.
depressed. I don't know.
Oh gosh.
Save me.
All right. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll just have this as like a rolling intro.
Yeah.
So that may have been in it. So this is I'm making you watch this.
All right.
This is the podcast, episode 2.
Woo!
It's sort of the episode 2. We recorded a second episode. We're building up a mythology. This is our our lost episode.
Yeah,
that nobody's ever going to hear.
Not the lost episode.
Right. We're not talking
A
about
lost episode.
Checking in though. Where are you at in Lost?
I'm afraid the same place as last time.
That's
episode 6 or so. Because I'm watching The Crown on Netflix currently.
I haven't watched the second season yet.
Maybe I'll make you watch that for the next episode.
The second season? Because I've watched the first season.
Okay.
I was all about it.
Yeah.
But I haven't watched any of the second season at all. So we could talk Crown though. We could definitely talk. I mean, I don't remember. I remember John Lithgow being my favorite part.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I think Matt Smith's butt was
Derriere.
my favorite part.
Yeah.
Very round. Rounder than I imagined. I don't know.
That's I got nothing. I got nothing on the butt. I'm speechless
About the butt.
about the butt. The doctor's tush
Yeah.
made its way into everyone's home.
It did. How do you feel about the new doctor being a woman?
You know, I got a strong stance. I think that's what people want to hear, right?
Yes.
I got a strong stance. Hate it. No, I don't. I'm indifferent. I think it's cool. I think it doesn't rock the boat that much, really. Mm-hmm. If she's good, great. If the writers are good, if Chris Chibnall is up to the task. I'm not crazy about his episodes because he did the dinosaurs on a spaceship, and I can't remember which other ones he did, but they're not like bad episodes, but they're not like mind-blowing ones either.
Yeah.
So
Do you have a favorite doctor?
I mean, Matt Smith's my doctor.
Ah.
Because that's what got me into it.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I say all of them. I'm not one of those guys that went back and watched all the old.
So you really mean like 9 on, really, right?
Yeah.
I think
I think Matt Smith's my guy though. He's hard to top. His energy, his
butt,
his joie de vivre.
Yes.
It's great. I'm just gonna say roll intro music because it should be in there, and I like that music. So roll intro music. And we're back. We may keep that, we may not. Who knows?
Yeah.
Because we did that soft roll, like we did the roll into the.
I like the. Is that what it's called?
I have no clue what the strict terms are.
But what did you just call it?
A rolling intro.
A rolling intro, where it kind of like fades.
Yeah.
I enjoy that.
Just starts in the middle of a conversation. Mm-hmm. But we haven't said it yet. This is our Christmas episode.
I love Christmas so much, Steven.
It's a few days away from Christmas in Louisiana. So it was 75 degrees outside today.
Yes.
And I have not been in the Christmas spirit this year, really at all.
Aww.
Like I've watched maybe a couple of Christmas movies. There's decorations up. I've seen lights. We had some moderate Christmas-y weather. It was just kind of cold and wet for a little bit there.
Yeah.
But now it's warmed up. The sun was shining today. And I don't know. Like, I wonder what it means to me now as an adult. What is it that when you're trying to pursue, like, Christmas spirit and, like,
the feeling of Christmas?
The feels, because, like, the feeling, I don't know, it hasn't felt like it did when I was a kid in years. And I think that's probably just part of growing up.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like that the evolution hasn't been there yet. I don't know what it's supposed to feel like next.
Aww.
Like, what is Christmas supposed to feel like?
That is a very sad question to me.
I don't mean it to be sad. I just mean, like, it doesn't feel like it did when I was a kid. I don't think that's sad. I think that everybody... I assume everybody goes through that. Maybe, does Christmas feel the same to you as it did when you were 7?
No, of course not. But then again, my birthdays don't feel the same. Thanksgiving, I don't think anything feels the same now as it did when I was a kid.
Sure.
And I feel like that's the way for everyone, right? I mean, you just got to find...
I wonder, because I have some friends who, like, are just gung-ho, like, Christmas every year consistently. They never miss a beat. And I wonder if it's held true their whole lives, if it's just always
they're just
been
faking
the
it. They're putting
now
on a fake smile.
Depressing?
Well, I'm trying to get in the spirit for this episode because I got my hickory hearth candle burning right there. It smells nice and homey. You have your Christmas hat?
I brought a Santa hat.
Yeah.
I was wearing it, but then I put the headphones on. Let me put it back on.
Very nice.
That really... It doesn't fit over the headphones.
It looks good, though.
It's at a jaunty angle.
There's this thing I saw online. It was like a question someone has, like, why in pictures when people wear Santa hats do they touch the pom-pom? Every picture, they're touching the palm.
What?
Yeah. Like the stock photos and people wear the hats, they're always touching the pom-pom.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never noticed that before. I've never clocked that.
I mean, in the Santa Claus movie.
I was just thinking that.
Yes.
It's the radio.
Yeah.
He
has a reason.
It's a two-way radio.
Yeah. Now, he has a reason to touch the palm, but I don't know.
Connects you directly to Judy. Compact disc. No, it's an automatic cookie dispenser. So here's the thing with Christmas movies is you watch... I mean, I don't know that there's any movie that anybody in their lifetime watches more frequently, more consistently, like every year. So a lot of these movies that I haven't seen that movie probably for at least a year, but I don't think I've actually sat down and watched it in a couple of years, but I can quote the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of my problem too, is I actually have made a conscious decision the past couple of years of avoiding some Christmas movies because they were kind of wearing to where whenever I would watch them, I would kind of watch them with eyes glazed over. It's hard to actively watch something, for me, to actively watch something that I've seen so many times.
Okay, yeah.
So frequently, like with such regularity. It's sort of like the problem as we were talking earlier about like Star Wars. Like I saw The Force Awakens like 3 times in theaters. When I saw it by the 3rd time, like I was just sick of it. Like I just didn't want to watch it again. And I think that happens with Christmas movies is when you watch the same ones every year, they just lose their meaning over time.
The magic, even?
Certainly the magic. I think magic and feeling are so inextricably like tied together for me that a lot of that's toast. But an interesting thing that happens, though, is when you do give yourself a breather in between and then you watch it again. What happened to me again, this happened to me last year, was I watched the live-action Grinch last year, and it was like a revelation.
Really?
I love that movie so much. Ron Howard just, like, took so many, like, big risks with it. Or I don't know if he did so much as risk as much as, like, that whole movie is just full of these really funny, like, gags and, like...
Yeah.
Intricately planned bits throughout that are it's not a lazy movie in the slightest on any level, especially Jim Carrey's performance, which I think Netflix is doing another documentary like what they've done with Andy Kaufman, sort of showing Grinch? how he lost his mind making the Grinch. Basically Jim Carrey is just out of his mind.
Well,
it's just come to light that he's bonkers.
Yeah.
But that movie is after giving it a breather, having it a couple of years where I didn't watch it, then watching it again with eyes anew, it was that much more enjoyable. Which is funny because back to this week's episode, the movie that I picked for you is probably the movie that I watch most consistently every year. Mm-hmm. And you'll get a kick out of this because you know that you have this image in your head of my family being sort of a Norman Rockwell painting.
Oh, yeah. I tell Steven every time, I'm like, because we've been friends for a very long time, and I have never been to his house before up until, well, his childhood home, I guess. And so I just imagine... I always told Steven around the holidays, I just imagine his mom by the fire, knitting with his sister reading out of the Bible, and like his dad smoking a pipe, and it's just glorious, and it's snowing inside for some reason. I just imagine...
With a skirt perfectly splayed out.
Yes!
And
So I just imagine like Steven's home for the holidays to just be this wonderland.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Well, you don't see the drinking. And the shouting.
That's after I leave.
The fisticuffs.
Yeah.
But so this is definitely feeding into that fantasy of yours. Is we are a live tree family, so we always go and get a live tree, and we would whenever we decorate the tree, which is usually like the weekend after Thanksgiving or beginning of December. We decorate the tree while watching the Muppet Christmas Carol.
Oh. My God.
It's the same movie every year. It's always playing. So we always play it, whenever we're set. And all of our decorations are the jankiest homemade, like, kids' craft. Like, there's a bunch of, like, popsicle stick ones. There's one in particular that we have that I made that we call Rain Dog because I tried drawing a reindeer and it looks like a dog. I'm not very artistically talented. Like, we have, like, really cheap ones that were, like, made out of, like, plastic spoons. And
were they angels?
Yeah, the little angels with like the wings and
pipe cleaner. Yeah,
there was one that we made that's like our picture, and it's on like a red like plastic plate. Like that's it. It's just like a picture of us with Santa Claus on a red plastic plate.
Those are the laziest teachers ever.
Yeah.
There's some plates I don't friggin' know.
Yeah, so so this movie is very much tied in with family tradition, and I would say just by default it's probably my favorite Christmas movie. So that's where I'm coming from with that when I say I'm making you watch this, which in all full disclosure, this is a movie you have seen before.
Yes, but it had been I can't remember the last time I watched it.
Right.
I had it on VHS, but rewatching it, I am like, oh yeah, no wonder I never watched it more frequently, is because it scared the crap out of me. A Christmas Carol scares the crap out of me.
It's spooky. It's about ghosts.
Yes.
It's a ghost story.
So I think for that reason, I just kind of stayed away from that VHS around the holidays until I was asked to watch it. No, and it still scared me. So we will get into that.
But you watched it on VHS?
No. Okay. I watched it on... I tried to find... It wasn't on Netflix or Hulu. None of these, or Amazon Prime, so I had to watch it on YouTube. On those picture-in-picture screen. Yes, with that galaxy in the background.
The bootleg?
Yes, so I had to watch it like that, but...
Gotcha.
But,
My apologies. We'll get into more of what that... I mean, I don't know, we could just go and dive into it.
Okay, sure, we're already talking about it.
Do you want to... Yeah, then we'll just go and do that.
So, Steven picked for me Muppet Christmas Carol with Michael Caine. And it was spooky. I was in a really low rent production of A Christmas Carol in college, and it just brought back all the memories.
Really?
I remember there's one part where it was like the graveyard and like the foam tombstone fell over and Fezziwig's party. I had a choreographed dance, and it just brought back a lot of those college theater memories for sure. Love, I wrote, looking at my notes, just kind of glancing at it, I wrote love a lot.
Yeah.
Yes. And
it's the Muppets.
It is. You truly forget how funny they are.
Right.
I'll go ahead and say it. My favorite character off the bat, Rizzo the Rat.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's... I picked a favorite as well, but it wasn't Rizzo. It was like when this character... Like, for me, it's my favorite bit is the... what's his... Is it Uncle Sam? Is that what? No, it's Sam. Sam the Eagle.
Sam the Eagle.
Is that his name? Sam
I think
the
so.
Eagle?
Yeah.
His bit when he says it's the American way as opposed to the British way. I think that might be my favorite joke in the whole thing. But yeah, Rizzo's great.
Hey,
Rizzo Gonzo.
Yeah.
pairing is...
And with these, like, you know, movies you watched as a kid, when you watch them again as an adult, of course, you know, you just get all these new jokes and all these funny bits.
For sure.
That you just, I found myself laughing a lot, like chuckling a lot, which honestly I rarely do. Even if something's funny on TV, I rarely laugh. Mm-hmm. But I was snorting out of my nose a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of that. Okay. I loved Michael Caine's intro. The Scrooge song was very much like Belle in Beauty and the Beast when they're just talking about him roaming the streets.
Yeah.
Side note, I didn't like the songs in this movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Because we both picked musicals.
Yes.
You know, let's just go free flowing. Whatever. What you picked is The Nightmare Before Christmas, which I genuinely had never seen before.
Which shocked me because we were both magnet kids.
Right. We both went to a high school where there was almost like a subset of fashion.
What do you mean?
Like, there was like Jack Skellington paraphernalia. I remember seeing like Jack Skellington shirts and bags and things.
Yeah.
Like, we went to
a lot of merch.
Yeah, there's a lot of... Yes, that's a good way to phrase it. There's a lot of...
apparel.
A lot of Nightmare
Before Christmas
swag.
Yes.
Going around the school.
We went to school with a lot of alternative people.
Yeah, we didn't... Yeah, it was a largely arts and academics school without football, baseball, or basketball.
Yeah. Like, our biggest sport was, like, fencing. It's that high school.
Yeah, and so it's a Tim Burton crowd.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yes, it is.
It was a hot topic Tim Burton.
Yes.
Kind of a place.
Yeah, so that's why I was just shocked that you had never seen it.
Until I watched the movie, then I realized, oh, I get why I never saw this. My parents would never have watched this.
Really?
So this would never have been in my house.
Even in, like, when you were a little bit older, like middle school, high school, you were like, oh, what's this? I mean, people are talking about it.
I never had the desire, honestly, to watch it.
It just didn't entice you. Right?
No, it was never a part of my...
This is weird.
Aesthetic. Yeah, basically.
This is weird.
I mean, basically, yeah. Like that, there's like a series of movies of that ilk that we never would have watched growing up. Like that, Addams Family, never watched that. Never watched like Beetlejuice. All those like things that my parents would have said that's weird.
So you weren't allowed to watch anything with stripes in them.
Basically.
So, okay.
Speaking of stripes, though, jumping way tracks over back to Muppet Christmas Carol. The best Muppet costumes were the lamp lighting scene for Gonzo and Rizzo. They had like these really dapper like Mary Poppins stripes on.
Did they? I couldn't tell because the quality of the YouTube video I watched was subpar.
It was like pixels.
It's very hazy.
There wasn't enough MP4.
The whole video there were snowflakes falling like on the screen like the entire time, and I didn't notice till they were in Scrooge's office, which was like 5 minutes into the movie.
We do not promote pirating of any variety.
Oh, sure.
But until we get those sponsors, we can't afford to rent any movies.
Which, once again, sponsors if you're listening.
So while I'm, this is way more freeform than the last one, but I think this is fine. Something that I did not bring up, and I'm just gonna say I didn't bring it up intentionally, just to cover my trail. But so there are two versions of this movie
with Michael Caine.
There's two different like cuts of the Muppet Christmas Carol. There's like the theatrical release, and then there's the extended version, which on the VHS, what most people watch growing up on that is the extended version. Mm-hmm. The theatrical release cut a very specific scene out where it doesn't make a ton of sense. So I'm wondering, the version you watched, when he goes to the Ghost of Christmas Past, and he's has that scene with Belle. Yeah. Does she sing a song?
No.
She doesn't?
No.
Okay. So it has a really weird cut in it, right? Where they decide to go their separate ways, and all of a sudden Michael Caine and Rizzo are crying.
Yes, I was wondering. I'm like, okay, well, she didn't say I'm leaving your ass or anything. She was just like, oh, well, okay. And then she just walks away. And then I'm thinking, okay, well,
He took that really hard.
Yeah. Wait, go after her. I mean, wait, no, they're going to see each other later? I think so. But then turns out she had a whole nother song about
There's
something.
this really, really heart-wrenching, like, moving song. Like, it turns into a duet where she's talking about their lost, like, their love that wasn't to be. How at one point it seemed like they were going to be together, but
wait, what happened?
He doesn't love her.
He doesn't love her?
Well, he didn't. Well, because he wouldn't commit. He wouldn't marry her. Like, he said he wouldn't marry her till business continues to be poor.
But that doesn't mean he's not ready to commit to her, I think. He just wants to be...
Well, that's the whole point, is he's a greedy old miser. This is where it started. He was always more addicted to the money and success than he was to other people. But that's one of the weirdest cuts, though, is taking that song out, because that whole emotional, like, crux of that scene is just gone. And then you just have people crying from, like, 0 to 100.
I'm glad you said that, because I really was wondering... What happened? What happened?
Anyways, I don't know what else changed with that edition. I don't remember if there are any other major cuts or anything like that. But that's also how they released it into the theaters, was that version without the song. So it's really baffling.
So what? That's like 5 more minutes, I guess?
I think their reasoning was that kids would get bored during that scene.
Oh, really?
So I don't know. It was 92.
No, yes.
They were so desensitized by their iPads and their...
Exactly.
Video games.
I do say young Scrooge was a babe.
So I was thinking about that too. Like, I almost wish... this is one of those movies that would be perfect to go back and, like, watch it, and then one of those small parts, like Fred, like his nephew Fred, or like young Scrooge, or that girl even. If you go back and look at it, and it's like, oh, hey, that's Colin Firth. Or, hey, hey, that's a young Hugh Grant. Like, that would have been really fun, but that wasn't the case.
Yeah. Fred did look like someone at first. I'm like, oh, that he looked like, oh my gosh, he don't know his name. He looked like the guy in A Knight's Tale.
Paul Bettany?
Yes.
Huh.
To me.
I see that. Yeah. No,
yeah.
He does look a little bit like that. I think Paul Bettany might be too young for that.
He could be.
He was about 92. I don't know how old Paul Bettany is. He hasn't really aged much in the past, 15 years.
Mm-mm.
Now he's doing that Avenger thing.
What is he doing?
He's in the Avengers. He's Vision.
Oh, duh. Yes. He's doing pretty well for himself. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Fred was a dick, so was his wife. Then go somewhere.
That
rude.
That whole, like, scene of, like, playing the yes and no game is really strange. Because they do weird stuff with, like, I mean, there's weird, like, Muppet, like, questions get brought up by the fact that these are Muppets that they don't ever really address, you know? And, like, that one, like, the group of people in that scene is, like, they've got, like, some weird slug monster couple, and there's, like, a pig couple, and then the guy who's a dog. But they talk about specifically about when, like, they're playing 20 questions of, like, is it an animal? Well, it's like 2 of your guests are pigs. And then they're like, were they raised on a farm? I don't know. It's just really kind of a weird juxtaposition there that they just don't address. And there's also moments too where Scrooge can clearly see, like, Gonzo and Rizzo.
Yeah.
Like the stuff with, like, the shelf falling down.
Yeah, and then that last scene, he pats them on the head. When he's he's in a good mood, he just, like, goes up and pats them on the head. I'm like, okay, so you saw them the entire time.
I mean, one of the strengths of the movie is how straight Michael Caine plays it the whole time.
Which, I looked up some trivia, like, fun facts about the movie, that Michael Caine said that he was going to play this movie like it wasn't a Muppet movie.
Right.
Like, it was, like, a Shakespearean, like, kind of a situation. So he wanted to play it as straight and as serious as...
Which is brilliant.
Yeah.
Because it makes it that much more of a heartfelt journey. Yeah. For sure.
Good choice, Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
Oh my gosh, so talented.
She was only 16 years old.
So talented.
You was only supposed to blow the bloody doors off. That's the greatest Michael Caine impression?
Second greatest.
Second greatest?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Second next to the man himself.
Yeah. I liked the okay, so we'll go into like the three ghosts. I did not like Ghost of Christmas Past.
It was embarrassingly late in my life before I realized that was a Muppet. I don't know if
I thought it was like a.
I don't know that I thought that it was like a real person, but I think maybe I thought it was like a CGI character or something.
I think they try to make it look person-ish, and they were just like, well.
Also, she just has like a normal like little girl's voice too. I think that probably lent itself to it, but I think it's just like a actual puppet underwater.
I thought, okay, yeah. I thought it was very lazy.
Lazy?
Yes.
Whoa, shots fired on Henson.
Come at me, bro. I just thought it felt like we'll make the Ghost of Christmas Past. Let's get some, I don't know, we got some extra felt. We'll just slap it together. I don't know. Here's make her, I don't know, little girl voice or something. I don't know. I just, I didn't enjoy it. And she very much creeped me out. She was like a banshee to me.
Yeah, that's a good word. Good word.
Yeah, banshee?
Good creature. You don't hear much about banshees.
Yeah, well, I watched Supernatural, so it came up.
That's in your wheelhouse.
It is. All things supernatural.
Oh, boy.
Oh, soon to come episode. And then I loved Ghost of Christmas Present. I wrote down a quote. What happened? Okay, so like he's huge when you first see him, and he's like chilling in the living room, and Michael Caine was like, "Are you a large and absent-minded ghost?" And the ghost was like, "No, I'm a large and absent-minded ghost." And Michael Caine just gives him like the biggest like side eye ever. I just thought it was so cute and funny. Is this? I'm guessing it's supposed to be like Santa Claus, right? Ish.
Or Father Christmas.
Father,
yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure that's part of the inspiration for it. And there's also, I think a little bit too of like, I don't know if this is even like an actual real world culture thing, or maybe I've just seen it like in comic strips, but the idea of like New Year's as well is like at the beginning of a year you have a baby, and then by the time it's the end of the year, December 31st, it's an old crotchety man, and then it like restarts, like time passing or whatever. I don't know if that's a thing or if I've just seen
that makes sense.
Like,
and then of course, Ghost of Christmas Future.
It's a Dementor.
Yeah.
This was the first time I watched it. I didn't really when I really paid attention to the to that puppet, is those aren't his actual. That's not a person wearing gloves. Those are like extended arms. Mm-hmm. So it's like I didn't realize how long or like how wide that character was before. Because I always thought of it as like a tall like specter, kind of like like a Dementor.
Yeah.
But like if you actually look at the silhouette, it's really wide. It's got like this really long reach. Which is, I don't know why. That's just one of those things like a movie you've seen a bazillion times, and there's like, oh, I never noticed that before.
Yeah. And another little fun fact I read, it was like when they were initially trying to figure out the ghost, they were gonna make Gonzo as the Ghost of Christmas Future and have like the cloak and everything, and all you see was his nose sticking out. That'd have been cute. But I liked Gonzo and Rizzo as like the narrator and his sidekick buddy. Mm-hmm. Initially I didn't like it just because I felt like whenever I see a narrator in something, I feel like it's kind of like, I don't know, like an extra. Like they couldn't find something for Gonzo and Rizzo.
Oh, sure.
Kind of like that. But I liked it in the end,
It's interesting because like it using a narrator is easier.
Yeah.
I think it's easier to write that way. But this one, it's almost like slavish in how closely it holds to the original writing. Mm-hmm. I think most of the dialogue and definitely most of the narration is just straight out of the original Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
And that makes it really interesting, especially for a Muppet movie, that it's not as zany as you think it could be, or as they could have gone with it. Which I like. I like how it's just like almost like a very faithful retelling of it. They just happen to be Muppets.
Is this your favorite version of A Christmas Carol?
Probably, yeah. Which I was trying to remember like what are other versions of it that I've seen. I mean, like the Disney one, that's the one with Jiminy Cricket and Mickey Mouse is. Oh, that's Scrooge McDuck. Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah.
Did they create Scrooge McDuck for that movie, or was that?
I'm sure.
I don't remember. But there's that version. There's a bunch of like TV episodes that have done it.
Have you seen the Vanessa Williams version? Because that one is very good.
I don't think I have.
I think it's called like A Diva's Christmas Carol.
Oh boy.
And it's pretty good. I remember watching it like years and years ago, and I'm like, hey, I can get behind this one.
I don't think I've seen that one. I'm trying to pick. Is it like a TV movie or is it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just so many.
Yeah. I really like how they cast the Muppets in this movie. Mm-hmm. Of course, you're gonna have Kermit as Bob.
He's the every frog.
Oh my God.
Is he the Tom Hanks of the Muppets? I feel like he might be.
You think so?
Yeah.
I never really noticed Kermit's hands before, but they are very creepy. Very salad fingers.
Are they just like long?
They're long and thin, and they're all the same like length. I don't know. I just noticed that, and I think I wrote it down somewhere. But, and Tiny Tim was just like Mini Kermit,
but a different shade.
A different shade of green.
Peter too, like the other son.
Was he?
They're both like different shades of frog, and that's another thing too. Is again, I guess it's the righted way as it being a kids movie, Muppet movie, whatever. But like, why are two of the kids pigs and two of the kids?
I freaking wrote that. Frogs. Why are they not frog pig hybrids?
Frog pigs, yeah.
That I want to see.
Would you want to see green pigs or like frogs with snouts?
Ooh.
Or like Frankenstein monster, like just like
one of each,
like one pig hoof. And
yeah. Yes, that.
I also wanted to see a moment where like the frog comes out and like Kermit ribbits by accident and then gets really embarrassed about it.
Does it ever happen?
I don't know. Does Miss Piggy ever oink or snort?
I'm sure she does. Oh yeah.
Hi, Miss Piggy.
Yeah, they're like not together anymore, right? Didn't that happen?
I didn't watch any of this show.
I think they split up, and he dated like a younger pig, like a hot pig. He has a type.
I like how you phrased all that, where it wasn't like I think this is what they did with the character. It was just purely. I don't think Kermit's seeing anything.
Oh, well, yeah, that's my reality TV background.
Yeah, this is just his actual current status in like real life.
Well, they put. I noticed in the intro they were kind of like the credits they were having the characters, and it said Kermit the Frog as Bob Cratchit. I'm like, oh, how cute. They're like real people.
I thought about coming into this and playing it like I couldn't see. The suspension of disbelief didn't work for me. All I saw was just cloth and like somebody's hand inside it. Like I just never once bought it.
The whole time arms crossed.
I wonder why that is. Why do we buy into that so readily?
Like Muppets specifically, or just like
maybe,
puppetry?
Like maybe Muppets do it best, but just puppets in general. Like why? How are we able to have these like emotionally invested moments with these like fabric creations? You could ask the same question about Nightmare Before Christmas with like the claymation stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
Maybe it's
what is it in the human brain that is so ready to accept that that's
suspend
real?
The disbelief or whatever. I don't know. Maybe at least with Muppets and like Sesame Street and stuff like that, we watched it when we were kids and we just kind of believed it, and maybe that just kind of carried on. Maybe. Or maybe they do their job so well that we really believe it's a frog.
Maybe we're just idiots.
I think so. Well, that's a major part of it for sure. I liked the mice Muppets. Very cute.
That was another. This is just again like where my head was going during this. But when did it become like accepted fact that mice love cheese?
An American Tail.
Is that it?
That's from. I realized it.
But that's one of those weird things. It's like this culture. It's like elephants being afraid of mice, or like I can't think of another example off the top of my head. But that's sort of like
fact
truism that everybody just knows. It's just mice love cheese.
I don't know, but they do, right?
I would imagine so, but I think that I don't think whatever you buy a mouse at the mouse store, that what they tell you first
right on the
is
corner right here.
Yeah, you need to go to the grocery store and just stay stocked with cheese all the time.
Are you alluding to the fact that Michael Caine bought that little mice family?
Yeah, no cheeses for us Mises.
Yes.
Yeah,
I love that line. That was the part I laughed at. The horses too cracked me up.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. It's about the horses.
That was that was one of those weird cutaways that felt not lazy, but it was just like we got to get one more shot in. Let's just have the horses like turn around at the same time
and shake their butts. So cute. Oh, and when a real horse showed up on screen, I was like,
was
what?
it a real horse?
Yes. For like one scene, it was a real horse, and I'm like, what is this real horse doing on here?
Huh.
It was like pulling. I was expecting like Michael Caine to come out or something. Like, okay, that makes sense. You need a real horse to pull that carriage, but like, no, it was like Gonzo and Rizzo on top of it.
Huh.
It's very weird.
I didn't clock that one.
Yeah.
That's funny.
You want to see that next time. That real horse was not belonging.
For sure. This is, I would say this is probably the not definitive, but this is the version of Christmas Carol that I grew up with. So when I first saw another version of it where there's only one Marley,
yeah,
that makes zero sense to me. Like it's two Marleys. It's Statler and Waldorf. You always have, it's the Marley brothers. Like I can't accept any other version of the movie where it's just the one Jacob Marley.
You're just looking for the other one.
Yeah, or Robert. I don't remember which one's the actual.
That was another like casting choice. I'm just like, oh my god, yes, makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
There was who else? I was like, oh yeah. Well, we talked about Sam, the eagle. Mm-hmm. Fozzie perfect.
It was just waiting,
yes,
waiting for them.
It was kismet.
It was teed up. For a 92 movie, I felt like all the special effects and stuff like held up.
Yeah,
they do a lot of really neat stuff. Most of it's practical, which I think is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think I personally like what they do with the Ghost of Christmas Past, and they do some really fun scene transitions, like the one where they go into the past and it looks like a Snapchat filter where he just like goes in like this swirly background. And,
yeah.
Like it still works. Like that was, I'm sure at the time that was like, this is like the coolest computer generated.
I wasn't like rolling my eyes or like stuff like that. I wasn't like, oh my god,
yeah,
this looks terrible. You're right. Like it still holds up for sure. And at the end, you know how he's all, he changed his ways when he comes back to present time and all that. I'm thinking, how much time does Scrooge have left? He's already pretty old.
He gets hit by a real horse. Just gets kicked.
Yeah.
Doesn't even die. Just goes into like a vegetative state.
Oh, no.
Just goes into a coma.
Oh, God. Well, like, what's the lifespan of people during that time?
He was probably only like 34 in that movie. So he had like maybe, 6 more months.
Okay. Yeah, I just
less
thought it
so
was...
if you're a pig or a frog.
Oh, she was wearing her gloves. Does Miss Piggy always wear her gloves? Her little purple satin opera gloves or whatever?
No.
She was wearing them for sure.
I'm not like too much of like a Muppet head. I love the Muppets. I like it, but I'm not that versed.
I just remember seeing them and it just made me think of Muppets Take Manhattan.
I know I've seen that movie, but it's been a long time if I have.
That's a good one.
I think this is probably the one I've seen the most, and then Treasure Island is probably a close second.
I don't think I've ever seen Treasure Island.
Really?
Yes.
Ooh. That, yeah.
Future episode?
Possibly. Possibly. You should see that. It's got Tim Curry. Being zany AF.
Is there more Rizzo the Rat?
There are rats in it. Gotta be. I'm trying to think of Rizzo. Yeah, I think Rizzo's in it. Surely.
Rizzo said a line, they're talking about someone's siblings or something, and Gonzo was asking Rizzo something about brothers and sisters, and Rizzo was like, I have 1,278 brothers and sisters.
Which is nasty.
Yeah. I just thought that was funny. Man, it was so funny.
They needed to steer a little bit more away from like the rat bit, and it just gets gross. Don't remind us too much that these are actually rats you're talking about.
I was it's true to the time. Right?
Yeah, very.
Were they still like
Victorian
throwing their poop out in the streets in this time?
Probably. I mean,
when did plumbing come around?
No, plumbing existed for sure, but I don't know if
or the whole. I'm just wondering where all the waste goes.
I think this late in the game they probably had plumbing.
Yeah,
but
that's something I need to look into.
This is one of those moments on the podcast where I feel like I sound really dumb, like it's really obvious.
Someone out there is like,
I know plumbing as a concept has existed since thousands of years ago. But as far as like, did they have flushing toilets in? No, I think we're still in the bedpan phase.
Are we?
I think so, because this would have been Victorian times. This is probably set in like 18. I want to say I read 1839 is when he wrote it, but I may be way off base. Either way, though, I think we're talking bedpans. So yeah, I think they were nasty back then for sure.
Okay, well, cool. Miss Piggy pooping in a bedpan.
That's what I want to think about.
Well, pig poops, I'm sure aren't. Well, okay, we're going somewhere that.
I mean, that also brings up another one of the weird, like, Muppet, like, boundary questions, because they eat a goose, which is an animal.
Oh.
But Gonzo's like a bird?
What is Gonzo?
Well, I think that's his whole bit. But I'm pretty sure he's a bird thing. Because he has a moment where he checks out a chicken, because he's got a thing for chickens.
Yeah, I knew that. But that doesn't mean he's a bird-ish, right? Because
sure.
Kermit likes Miss Piggy.
You're right. It's 2017.
It is.
What am I doing?
If he can like a freaking chicken without being judged and not being a bird-like animal himself, then, that's fine.
Yeah.
Bottom line is, really like this movie.
Totally
forgot how much I did. Still spooky. Very spooky. Is it something I'd want to watch every Christmas? I don't know. But for sure really liked it.
What is your every year
Christmas
you
movie?
have to watch?
For Christmas?
Yeah.
I don't think I really have one of those. I mean, I have like my favorite Christmas movies for sure, but it's not something. Okay, well, here we go. The Holiday.
Sure.
But like, I guess kind of kids-wise or family-friendly, maybe like Santa Claus probably or Home Alone, one of those.
Yeah.
Although Home Alone is kind of on the Christmas side.
Home Alone or Home Alone 2?
Home Alone 2 is more Christmassy.
Sure.
But I don't know. That's a good question. I can't even think about the Christmas movies right now. Elf.
I don't know that I've seen Elf in a while. I may need to rewatch that. That wasn't a big movie in our family. And that's the thing, is like so much of this is tied into like family. And it's almost like we have to get through these movies every year. It's like, oh, we got to throw in a Christmas movie. Although lately in my house, it's just been Hallmark movies, which is...
Hell yes.
I don't get it. I just don't understand.
They're mind-numbingly good.
They're mind-numbing, sure. But like, they're so bad. They're so bad. And I get that people know that. I'm not pretending like anybody thinks that they're great.
Right.
But I don't... I would say like they're so bad that it's like a barrier in between to where like I don't see how you get into it, I guess. I don't know.
It's just one of those things where there's no real conflict. Everything goes along swimmingly, and I think I know for me, I'm just really drawn to how much I can look through my phone when I'm watching this movie. It's not something I have to be really invested in, and I like that. I like it a lot. I mean, you can't really diss Hallmark movies because, hello, Meghan Markle. She was a Hallmark movie actress. And look where she is now. So, I think...
Are they going to get to her on The Crown?
You think? I hope so. You think that's where season 3 is?
They're recasting after the second season.
What do you mean?
So, this is... After this, they're going to keep going with the story, but they're going to recast older actors to carry on the characters.
Oh.
So Claire Foy isn't going to be Elizabeth anymore, and Matt Smith won't be Prince Philip. They'll have somebody older. But that was apparently the plan all
originally.
Along. Yeah, they were only ever going to do 2 seasons and then move on to do.
So you think Meghan Markle will be in a future episode?
I mean, I think Netflix will milk that cow for as long as they can. I'm not calling Meghan Markle a cow, by the way. I mean this series. But I think they'll keep going until... I don't know that they'll get all the way up to present day. I think that'd be funny if they did.
Freaking like
and they
2
just made
years
it like
later.
A yearly thing, yeah.
I don't know. Well, whatever they're doing, keep on trucking because so good. But we'll go into our second movie here. The Nightmare Before Christmas.
And what a nightmare it was.
I'm so excited to hear what you have to say.
No, I'm kidding. It was not a nightmare. I did enjoy it. I would say It's funny you mentioned the music of like the songs of Muppet Christmas Carol, because I like those songs more than I like the songs in this one.
You think it's because
They're
it's
just not as good.
Okay, that's false.
The music is good. I'm sure. No, Danny Elfman's score is great.
Yeah.
But I didn't also realize he was writing the lyrics to it and sang the songs as well. The lyrics are something to be desired for.
Sure.
I did love how I'm not saying I love it because I wasn't enjoying it, but I can't remember the last time I watched a movie that was an hour and 15 minutes long.
That's how long it was?
That's what it said on that. It was like hour 17, I think.
Really?
Hour 15. Yeah, it's super short. That's cool. I think the last Winnie the Pooh movie was about that long. It was really short. But no, it was fun. It was so this came out, this was what, early 90s, mid 90s?
Oh, I don't know.
90s or 80s? I don't remember. But
90s,
it's not
for sure.
But Tim Burton didn't direct it.
Oh God, you're making me look up facts here.
Well, I think that's like a big sticking point with this movie is everybody assumes it's a Tim Burton movie, and he produced it, but he didn't direct it. A guy named Henry Selick directed it, as I read off my notes.
Ah, yes, okay.
And so, like, it starts and, like, it's immediately, like, Halloween stuff. And my only point of reference for this movie was at Disneyland, they convert the Haunted Mansion into The Nightmare Before Christmas during Christmas season.
Which, that I'd want to see.
Well, they do the... I can't remember what song it is. What's the...
This is Halloween.
Yeah,
this is
I
Halloween.
think they do that song. Did they do that song? It can't be that song. I don't remember. But anyways, that was it. That's all I knew from it. Mm-hmm. So, like, they have, like... all the characters in it. They have Oogie Boogie at one point too.
Were you just writing it and you're like, what is this? What?
No, I mean, I knew it was Nightmare Before Christmas, but I just didn't. That was all I knew about it.
Okay.
So Jack Skellington, he's the Pumpkin King.
Yeah.
But he's a party planner, basically. He's the event coordinator for the city. Like, that's his MO.
Yeah.
And so, like, he's and then, like, what I do like about the movie is that they don't spoon feed you the mythology. Mm-hmm. They just kind of present it, and you have to kind of figure it out.
Yeah, there's a lot of filling in the blanks, like, open to interpretation, at least for me.
Well, I would say that's sort of what's interesting about it, and the fact that it's a rare thing that I'll see. Then I think that there's a movie that's made where you're like, oh, I wish it was longer. I wish they had explained more.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, I mean, the joke is, it's because it's stop motion. It's so hard to make.
Yes!
It takes so long to do that there were just whole scenes that they're probably like, do we need it? Because that's like 4 more weeks to shoot this thing. Which I'm trying to imagine shooting stop motion even, 30 years ago or 25 years ago would have been that much harder because everything still was being done on film. So I don't know what the technology was like at the time. I'm sure it's only gotten easier now.
Yeah.
And it's evolved in such a way that it looks better than it did than this one. But the artistry involved with doing that, like, it's fun to watch this and see sort of like the tricks that they would use. There was like certain characters, you'd see scenes where the only parts of the body that were moving would be like the arms and the head.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's just a practicality thing. Like, it would just take too long, and it's such a short scene that you would never notice it.
Yeah.
Unless you're really like looking for it. But something else too is, like, if you have any sort of like background characters, when you're animating, even like a hand-drawn animation, you can animate one character at a time and then composite it all together. With these like large scenes with multiple characters,
You have to do
everything. You have to track every single character.
You think they have a person for each character? Like, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking that too when it was like a big group shot and, there was one of the songs and they're all like, doing the robot and stuff. Yeah. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm sure they have a person for each character just kind of keeping track.
Yeah. Oh, I wonder too if counterintuitively, I feel like the music, like the song, the musical numbers would almost be easier in a way because it's easier to track with the music. You have to hit these certain movement, like keyframes, like for every beat or whatever. Whereas if you just had like a free flowing scene, then your characters having to react off of each other.
Yeah.
So it could just, I don't know. It seems impossibly hard to do.
Yes.
So anybody who makes a stop motion movie is, and one of this caliber too, is just so well done. The animation's so good.
I mean, it's like Ben Wyatt in Parks and Recreation.
Exactly.
When he makes that little stop motion
4
film.
seconds of like, yeah. It's a product of its time too, because I'm sure if you watch it, people watching it then, their only frame of reference for a stop motion movie would have been Rudolph or like Gumby.
Oh yeah.
So like,
Gumby.
and then this comes out, which is, it's weird. It's so weird, and it's so detailed and lively, and like such a crazy, like off kilter kind of a story.
Minds were blown.
Had to have been. And if this movie didn't happen, then I don't think you would have Coraline or Paranorman or Kubo.
This is like the Avatar of its time.
The Avatar of stop motion.
Yes, exactly. Well, you mentioned the songs. Did you have like a favorite song, least favorite song, one that you were drawn to?
I wasn't. I mean, for me, a lot of it was just. A lot of the lyrics felt very lazy. A lot of them were just like repeating the same thing over and over and over again. Whereas at least with the Muppets, you had like more of a traditional like variety of like, you know, song like writing and telling like this story, or like having these scenes play out. Whereas a lot of these songs just felt like lists and just like, well, what's another like crazy, kooky, weird thing that we can like throw in there?
Yeah.
So I wasn't crazy about the music, and I wasn't crazy about any of the like performances either, vocally. Which, I mean, I think that's splitting hairs. But the animation I really liked, and I liked a lot of the detail too, because there's a bunch of stuff in there. Like the mayor's tie is like a spider, which at one point comes to life and like crawls back to him later. But yeah, I'd say the most egregious song is the "What's This? What's this? What's this?"
Wow, that's arguably the most popular song.
Was not a fan. Was not into it. I'm not crazy about the voice. I'm not crazy about that. I honestly just don't. I don't get the character.
Like what he's about. Like,
yeah, well, it's like he
party planner, Pumpkin King.
Yeah, he's like he's looking for meaning and whatever, and like Halloween's not cutting it, so he wants to steal Christmas and make Christmas his
own
thing.
Yeah.
And then at the end, he doesn't really learn a lesson or anything. He doesn't. I don't know.
No, you're right. I do watching it. I'm like, well, this storyline kind of like not sucks, but it's very lacking.
It felt more about like the
art of
the
look of the movie,
the look, and then like just all of like the extras, like the accoutrement of the like, oh, what are all these weird, quirky, fun things we can put into it, and the story just is kind of what we're hanging it on.
Yeah.
So yeah, the voice that threw me off. I didn't realize it was what's his name, Sarandon, Peter Sarandon. Is that his name? I wrote it down. Is it Peter Sarandon? Chris Sarandon. Golly. Chris Sarandon, should
I know who this is?
He's Prince Buttercup. And his name? No, I'm mixing things now. Prince Humperdinck. Sorry, from Princess Bride.
Oh.
Princess Buttercup is what's her name? Robin Wright. But he's Prince Humperdinck in that. I'm pretty sure that's him. I'm going to feel like an idiot if it's not.
Someone's screaming in their car right now.
How could you?
Yeah.
Mark, I'm sorry.
Fine. Okay, so I'm kind of perusing some trivia here, and it's funny you talk about the songs. Because it says that Danny Elfman found writing Nightmare's 10 songs as one of the easiest jobs I've ever had.
It shows, Daniel.
Oh. And about Chris Sarandon, he was cast as Jack because his speaking voice matched the singing voice of Danny Elfman.
Interesting, yeah. And then Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah, I didn't know that till I watched it today.
I just assumed it was Winona Ryder.
You think?
Tim Burton, early 90s.
Yeah.
All the pieces were there.
Or, what's her name? You know.
The other one.
The
Give me clues. Just start rambling stuff off.
Oh my god, she's in like every Tim Burton movie.
Winona Ryder.
No. Oh my god. She was Bellatrix.
Oh, Helena Bonham Carter.
My gosh.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. That's a better pick.
Oh, that was a struggle to get out.
You talked about the moment that you had that you laughed in Muppet. The moment that got me was the microscope bit. Where he zooms in with the microscope and breaks the holly berry.
Yeah. Why?
That just got me. That's just a funny bit.
Okay.
And then he like peeks around the side of it. I don't know.
Wow. Okay.
No accounting for taste.
You know, it is. You know when you watch those movies as a kid and certain images kind of just stay with you. That whole microscope bit.
Yeah.
Is an image that stayed with me. If they ever, I mean, if they ever made this into like a live action, which never would happen, but I just see Jim Carrey, as Jack Fisher. I just kept hearing it and seeing him. And also the whole, I'll agree with you with like the singing, Danny Elfman singing, some parts. In my mind, I'm like, okay, you can take it down a notch.
It's very affected. The whole performance is extremely affected, which, I mean, it's fine. It's a cartoon.
But even as a cartoon and even something like this, I'm sure if I was like in the studio or something with him at the time, I would just be like,
what is he doing?
Okay, this guy is a weirdo.
It's a strong choice.
Yeah,
and that's always for actors.
Choice.
For actors, it's always the voice. The voice is the first thing that they'll do something weird with.
Yeah. It took 100 people 3 years to make this movie.
Yeah, I mean, golly, it's so much work.
Yeah. Did you have like a character that you kind of were drawn to?
I think the Oogie Boogie bit was fun. That's a fun character. The voice was really fun.
Yeah.
I don't get why he's
full of bugs.
Or like where like the casino theme came from.
Oh, because if you're a gambler, man, you're evil.
Right.
Gambling is evil, kids.
Right. I don't know. It didn't seem to connect.
I know.
It's just like, oh, that's his thing. He's like, it felt like a level of a video game. It's like, now it's the casino level, like Sonic. It's just, sure. I mean, he needs a theme. Why not be casino?
Snake Eyes, man.
Yeah.
I did, whenever I was a kid, he terrified me.
Oh, I'm sure.
But watching it back, I think whenever I watched it, I was like, hey, this song is pretty good. Yeah. Hey, I dig it, man. Why is it that the villains are always kind of like the bluesy, jazzy like character like that?
I don't know. There's probably something to be said for some uncomfortable undertones.
Yeah.
Connected to that.
Yeah.
Well, it's either that or they're super British.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I will say that there was something I noticed the thought. It shows how much the industry and stuff is morphed these days. But whenever I saw the portal, like the trees like portals into like different holidays, the first thing that came to my head was, franchise.
Oh.
Like you do one for every holiday, right?
Yeah.
Did they do more? Is there another movie? Like Nightmare Before like Halloween or something like that? Am I making that up?
I don't think so. I've never heard of it.
They never
monopolized
went back to the
on
well?
that?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
They never dipped back into...
Well, this is before I think that whole trend was...
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Or if they did do it, it would have been like a straight to like TV movie. Like straight to...
Yeah, maybe.
Or not, straight to home video.
Although, which holiday, if they were to redo it or make a little sequel, which holiday, which door do you want to see them go through?
I think we both picked the same one. Veterans Day.
Oh my God. Veterans Day. Tyler, that's for you.
You've just suffered an insufferable inside joke.
That's been going on for years.
There's no explaining it. We're going to leave it there. It's just for us. All right. Moving on.
Little note I put, whenever I said when they were kind of drawing up ideas of what these characters would look like, I can imagine when they were drawing up Jack, they were drawing the legs and someone was just like, no, longer. Longer. Make them longer.
You just put your pencil to paper. I'll tell you when to stop.
Exactly. And the guy's like, looking at him. Okay. All right.
He's just got sweat pouring down his face.
Yeah.
Are you out of your mind? I'm going to run out of paper. Keep driving.
Jack has got some gams.
Yeah.
For sure.
He's all limbs.
He is.
But yeah, he doesn't learn anything in the end. There's no like repercussions. But so he wanted to steal Christmas, but want to make it different, but made it the same. Like it was still creepy, but then he realized it was the moral of the story. Like everybody just stay in your own sphere.
Stay in your lane.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I didn't watch it well enough.
Maybe it's better. Maybe the moral of the story is,
what makes a movie Christmassy? Like, is this a movie that you would say is a Christmas movie? Is it a movie that has Christmas in it?
That's a good point.
Like on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being
Schindler's List.
which is very non-Christmas for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
10 being, what is the most Christmassy movie of all time? That's another question in and of itself.
Oh, wow.
What would you say is like
the most Christmas movie?
The most Christmas movie. The most Christmas. Is it A Christmas Story?
Probably.
Or no, It's a Wonderful Life, right? That one, no, because that one spans a lot more than just Christmas.
It's probably A Christmas Story.
You think? I'm not crazy about Christmas Story. Let's pick something different. Yeah. And you've never seen White Christmas.
Right.
That one's pretty Christmassy. Miracle 34th Street?
Pretty darn Christmassy.
So, like, on a scale of, like, that to that, like, where does this fall under? Like, is this, like, a Christmas movie?
Or is it a Halloween movie? You know, that is the debate. Does it just have
Christmas in the title? I don't know.
I don't know. Okay, no, I take that back. I know a couple people who watch this every Christmas.
Sure.
But would I consider it something Christmassy? Probably not.
Yeah. Maybe the Santa Claus is the most Christmassy movie. What? I don't even know how we're defining it. Like,
how are you defining it?
I don't know. See, I don't know. This is all purely just like based on feel, which I think will never go anywhere with that. I didn't come into this with like a pre-planned rubric. Of like, what makes the Christmas? Well, it has to be set around Christmas. It has to
have snow.
It has to involve Santa Claus. Does that make it inherently more Christmassy?
I would reckon. I would.
Does it have some sort of family element? How much of the trappings of Christmas does it need to have? I mean, yeah, these are all, I don't know, interesting thoughts.
It's really hard for me to come up with any Christmas movies, though, right now. I don't know why.
Heavyweights.
I mean, like, just the Santa Claus just keeps popping up in my head over and over again.
All three of them.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm sure that's purely just a subjective, like, everybody's going to have their own answer for that of what they think is their Christmas movie. And probably has a lot to do with what they watch on a regular basis. Like, what's the movie that they can't go through the season without seeing? Mm-hmm. And maybe that's what it is.
I mean, is this something that you would watch again?
I don't know.
Did you like the movie?
I did. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed watching it. It's hard to, like I said, it's hard to watch this and not compare it to other stop motion movies that have come out recently.
Yeah.
Which I'm really into. I really enjoy.
Are you really?
I think Paranorman is probably my favorite one.
Okay.
Of like those three that came out recently.
What was Box Trolls? Was that a stop?
I do like Box Trolls. Box Trolls was good.
Yes, that was good.
All the and I love the Aardman Studio stuff. They do Shaun the Sheep and they did Chicken Run. Shaun the Sheep was very recent for me. We got like a Shaun the Sheep like Christmas DVD last year, and we watched it as a family, and it's so good.
I'm not a fan
really
of those movies.
Oh, I love Shaun the Sheep.
I just don't like the way it looks.
That's hardcore claymation though, for sure.
Yeah,
as opposed to the armatures, the stop motion stuff.
Yeah, it's like with cartoons or something. If it's really funny, but I just don't like the way it's drawn or just the way it looks, I'm just not into it. I just can't get past it.
I get that. I'm that way with like a lot of like cartoons today. Like they're intentionally like ugly or intentionally like janky looking. Like the
home movies.
Home movies. The Gumball.
You don't.
No, not that one. Not that one. What's the one with the yellow dog and the kid with the ears?
Adventure Time.
Adventure Time.
You don't dig it?
I don't like because I'm not crazy about the animation.
Yeah. Okay.
Love me some like Avatar: Last Airbender though. Like,
oh my god.
Great. Is that on the list? Legend of Korra.
I don't like it.
Man, it's so good.
Oh, did you like the movie?
No, I've never actually seen the movie because I know how terrible it is.
It's pretty awful.
But that's a whole other conversation.
It's a whole other episode.
Yeah. I don't know. Is there anything else to say about Nightmare Before Christmas?
The dog didn't die because it's already dead. How about that?
Good point.
Yeah.
The three kids, I wasn't crazy about them.
You know, Greg Proops was one of the kids allegedly, like one of the voices.
You gotta remind me. Greg, he's a Who's Line guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's what I read. I'm like, okay.
Interesting.
He did a good job, I guess.
Interesting.
He is one of my favorite who's liners.
Improvisers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like those like detail stuff. Like he had whenever he was like going through like his investigating all like the Christmassy things, and he had like gingerbread men like in ether. I thought that was fun.
Yeah,
like, that's a fun little detail.
Yeah,
little stuff like that was really cool.
Yeah.
And they had plenty of time to do that. 3 years.
3 years.
3 years to come up with that.
You think in 3 years they would have come up with a stronger ending?
Touche.
You know what they say? You know the Corpse Bride, this, and one other Tim Burton movie like that. It's like supposed to be like a continuation of a story.
Oh, they're all in the same universe?
Yeah, or it's like the same. I know they said something about the dog or something. It's like what's that one Tim Burton movie? There was a dog. Okay, I can't even remember. But it's supposed to be 3 movies, and the dog, you can kind of see it's like a real dog. And then the second movie, the dog is like a skeleton, and now in Night Before Christmas, it's a ghost. It's supposed to be like sort of linear, like that. I can't think of the movies though.
Monster House?
No.
Isn't that one?
No.
Am I crazy?
Monster House? No, I don't think so. Tim Burton dog. Frankenstein. Jesus.
That's it. Frankenweenie.
Frankenweenie.
That's it. I was thinking that movie. I just couldn't remember the name of it.
Frankenweenie,
yeah.
Which I've never seen. But it's supposed to be like Frankenweenie, and then the dog in Corpse Bride, and then the dog in this are all supposed to be like the same dog, which is supposed to be like linear. I don't know. So, Ooh. Spooky. This turned out to be a spooky episode.
Spooky Christmas. All right, so that was Nightmare. That was
that was a nightmare, folks.
We're gonna rewind that one back. Well, that was our episode today. This is our second episode of I'm making you watch this. I had a good time.
I did too.
And hopefully you'll hear from us again for episode 3.
Yeah.
In 2018.
Ooh.
Goodness.
Hopefully all of you will have presents in your stockings. Everyone will be nice, not naughty. I don't know. That sounded very...
Yeah,
we're going to edit that out.
Yep. All right. Well, everybody enjoy your holiday. My name is Stephen Bailey.
I'm Angela Kang.
And this was I'm Making You Watch This. Merry Christmas!
See ya!